This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Hello and welcome to TVM's Metro Update, broadcasting from our studio live in Warri, Delta State. I am Tejiri Ekewe, and these are the news making rounds this hour. I begin with Delta State news. The wife of the Delta State governor and founder of the UMATA Foundation, Deaconess Tobore Oboriwori, has championed inclusivity for children with autism and special needs through a free medical outreach at Osubi Secondary School. The outreach, organized in collaboration with the Delta State Ministry of Health, provided medical consultations, medications, wheelchairs, walking aids, educational materials, and food items to families. Deaconess Oboriwori called on society to move beyond sympathy to genuine acceptance and inclusivity. Director General of the Foundation, Mrs. Laurenta Ogbedo, stated that the outreach was conceived to reduce the emotional and financial burden on families. Healthcare professionals attended to children through consultations, counseling, and health education.
The outreach is part of the First Lady's broader healthcare and social intervention program aimed at promoting inclusion and ensuring that children living with autism and other special needs receive the healthcare, dignity, and opportunities they deserve across Delta States. Beneficiaries receive free medical consultations, healthcare education, essential medicines, 120 bags of rice, 30 wheelchairs, 3 smart boards, physiotherapy toys, educational devices, and other assistive materials. Medical experts at the event educated parents and caregivers on autism spectrum disorder, highlighting the importance of early diagnosis, regular medical care, and inclusive education. The Deaconess Oboriwori called on governments, traditional institutions, faith-based organizations, healthcare professionals, and families to work together to build a more inclusive society. She reaffirmed her foundation's commitment to supporting parents and caregivers while advocating policies and partnerships that will improve the well-being of children with special needs across Delta State.
I want you to know that you are not alone. Your strength, resilience, and unwavering love for our children inspire us. The UMATA Charity Foundation will continue to stand with you, advocate for you, and work with relevant partners to ensure that children living with autism and other special needs receive care, opportunities, and dignity they deserve. I appeal to all of us to become ambassadors of inclusion. Let us reject stigma and discrimination.
A family blessed with triplets also received financial support of more than 7 million naira to help cater for the children's welfare. Beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the governor's wife for the intervention, offering prayers for her family and for continued progress and developments in Delta State.
The Renewed Hope ambassadors have taken to their grassroots mobilization drive to Ika Northeast local government area in Delta State, with a call for unity and support for All Progressives Congress. State Coordinator and Senior Policy Advisor to the Delta State Governor, Right Honorable Funkeme Solomon, led the delegation. He stated that the group was established to deepen grassroots mobilization and enlighten Nigerians on President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Delta North Senatorial Coordinator Chief Patrick Uka described the organization as a strategic vehicle for promoting the achievements of the federal government and consolidating the APC's presence in the area. Chairman of Ikan Northeast Local Government, Honorable Monde Odigwe, welcomed the initiative and pledged the support of the council. The event featured interactions with stakeholders and a renewed commitment to promoting the Renewed Hope agenda. From Edo State, the Edo State government has prosecuted 30 environmental offenders and sealed four poultry farms and one piggery for alleged violations of the Edo State Environmental Sanitation and Pollution Management Law. Commissioner for Environment and Sustainability, Losa Adams, disclosed this while briefing journalists in Benin City. He said the law enacted in 2025 has provided the legal framework for stricter enforcement across the state. Adams stated that 30 offenders had been prosecuted out of 93 abatement and violation notices issued. He added that the ministry conducted environmental audits of 230 facilities in Edo South Senatorial District. The commissioner also revealed that a mobile court now sits weekly at the ministry to prosecute habitual offenders while public education and advocacy continue. A leadership dispute has emerged within Edo State's chapter of the African Democratic Congress, with Tony Ali and Kennedy Odion both claiming the position of chairman. Ali, in a statement, stated that Odion was expelled following disciplinary proceedings at a national convention held on April 14, 2026. He also said the tenure of the State Executive Committee under Odion expired on May 19, 2026. Odion, however, described Ali's statement as out of frustration and stated that he remains the chairman based on a court ruling. He said the Federal High Court declared the convention a nullity and that the Court of Appeal upheld the judgment. Alil cautioned Odion to cease representing himself as official of the party, while Odion described the claims from the other group as delusion. In Cross River State, the Obong of Calabar Executive Forum has condemned the reported delisting of the Efik language from the West Africa Examination Council curriculum, describing the decision as an assault on the cultural heritage of Efik people. The chairman of the forum, High Chief Gershom Henshaw, says the language is one of Nigeria's most developed indigenous languages, with a rich literary history, and called for its immediate reinstatement amid growing concerns of Nigerian tribes going into extinction. The forum is therefore urging WAEC to reverse the decision without delay, assuring the examination body that there will be sufficient candidates for future Efik language examinations. They noted that they will continue to invest in preserving the language through scholarships, incentives for teachers, and support for Efik radio and television programs. A high sitting in Calabar and presided by Justice Blessing Egu has sentenced one apostle, Ubong Basi Etim, to death by hanging for the murder of his 16-year-old Down syndrome daughter, Deborah Basi, over accusations of witchcraft. The judgment was delivered on Monday, July 20th, 2026, found the defendants guilty of murder after the conclusion of the trial in a case brought before it by Basic Rights Council Initiative, a human rights activist group known for the promotion of justice for vulnerable individuals. Reacting to the judgment, Principal Counsel and co-founder of the Basic Rights Council Initiative, James Ibo, described the conviction as a landmark victory for child protection and the fight against witchcraft branding, noting that the ruling will send a strong signal that perpetrators of violence arising from human rights abuses will be held accountable under the law. According to Ibo, the judgment represents not only justice for Deborah, but also a significant step in efforts to eradicate harmful traditional practices that expose children to abuse, torture, abandonment, and death. He praises the efforts and cooperation of the Nigerian police force, the Cross River State Ministry of Justice, and the judiciary for their commitment to ensuring justice in the case, as well as those who provided financial and psychosocial support to the victim's mother and siblings throughout the trial. He also reaffirmed the commitment of the center to seeking justice for children and other vulnerable people in the society. The Federal High Court in Abuja has granted bail of 500 million naira to the former managing director of the Warri Refining Petrochemical Company Limited, Jimoh Iwasu, who is standing trial on an eight-count charge of alleged money laundering. Isao pleaded not guilty to all 8 counts before Justice Iang Ekwo. The prosecution alleged that he indirectly converted over $789,950, being proceeds of unlawful activity, and made cash payments outside the banking system. Justice Ekwo granted bail with one surety in like sum who must be a responsible Nigerian with landed property in Abuja. The defendant was ordered to deposit his international passport with court and barred from traveling without court's permission. Pending perfection of bail, the court ordered Isao to remain in custody of the prosecution. The case was adjourned to October for trial. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has dismissed a viral social media claim alleging that it is secretly recruiting personnel, describing the information as false. In a post on its official X account on Monday, the anti-graft agency warned the public against misinformation and featured a graphic label, "Fake News." The false claim, which circulated online, suggested the EFCC was secretly recruiting for training next month. The commission urged Nigerians to disregard the reports. The EFCC reiterated that its recruitment exercises are publicly announced through its official channels and not conducted secretly. The commission advised the public to verify information through its official platforms. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mrs. Oyinkansola Badejo Okusanya, has been declared the president-elect of the Nigerian Bar Association after polling 12,317 votes to defeat two other candidates. She will be the 33rd president of the NBA and first selected female president. In her acceptance speech, she pledged inclusive leadership focused on improving lawyers' welfare and strengthening the association. However, 2 defeated presidential candidates, Lateef Omoyemi Akangbe San and Are Olumuyiwa Akimboro San, have rejected the results. They cited alleged widespread technical failures, irregularities, and disenfranchisement of thousands of lawyers due to electronic voting platform issues. Outgoing NBA President Afam Osigwe appealed for calm and urged lawyers to put the election behind them and preserve the unity of the association. The Pharmacy Council of Nigeria has inducted 85 foreign-trained Nigerian pharmacists in the profession, charging them to uphold the highest standards of integrity, professionalism, and patient care. The induction took place during the oath-taking ceremony for participants in the first cycle of the 2026 Foreign Pharmacy Graduate Orientation Program in Abuja. Registrar Registrar of the Council, pharmacist Ibrahim Ahmed, described the induction as the beginning of a new professional journey. Ahmed commended the inductees for choosing to return and practice in Nigeria, stating that their global expertise would enrich the profession. He also assured the Council's support as they integrate into the country's healthcare system. Chairman of the occasion, the issue of Karu, pharmacist Luka Baba, urged the inductees to regard pharmacy as a calling anchored in integrity and humanity, adding that Nigeria needs their global exposure and dedication. We take a quick break. We have more stories when we return. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited. We hold several specialized permits with the Department of Petroleum Resources, are accredited with service and product codes by NIPEX, certified by Dun & Bradstreet, and proudly ISO 9001:2015 certified. Our areas of expertise cut across critical sectors, including manpower sourcing and supply, engineering services, construction and fabrication works, specialized procurement and supply, operations and maintenance services, and integrated marine services, delivering supply boats, crew boats, tugboats, barges, houseboats, and speed boats. At DERSAG Engineering, we are committed to quality, safety, and timely delivery, ensuring that every project meets and exceeds expectations. DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited, your trusted partner in delivering world-class engineering and energy solutions.
Welcome back from that quick break. We continue with more news. A body has been recovered while 39 others remain missing after a boat carrying farmers and laborers capsized in Malmawa Yanduse community, Bringing local government area of Jigawa State. The incident occurred at about 4:30 p.m. on Sunday when a local boat conveying more than 40 passengers, mostly female farmers, capsized. The Police Public Relations Officer, SB Shisu Adam, confirmed that the search and rescue operations are ongoing. The Director of Planning at Jigawa State Emergency Management Agency stated that the victims were mostly female farmers and laborers traveling to their farms. The exact cause of the accident has yet to be established. The chairman of the Regime Local Government Emergency Management Committee, Habibu Dauda, said local divers and residents have joined emergency responders in the search operation. Suspected Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists have abducted the wife of a pastor and his 3 children in Damasak, headquarters of Mobile Local Government Area in Borno State. The victims, whose identities have not been disclosed, were reportedly traveling to Damasak on Saturday when the attackers intercepted their vehicle at Karetu village and forced them to disembark. A source from the community told journalists that the incident occurred around noon, adding that the victims were traveling from Maiduguri to Damasak. The source said the woman, wife of the pastor in charge of the Church of the Christ in Nations, Moses G. Guguma, had recently been discharged from a hospital in Maiduguri after a prolonged illness before embarking on the journey. A resident of the area who spoke on condition of anonymity appealed for prayers and support for the family, alleging that the victims may have been targeted because of their religious identity. Damasak, located in Borno State Senatorial District, is about 156 kilometers by road from Maiduguri, the state capital, and has witnessed several attacks by insurgent groups in recent years. Security agencies were yet to issue an official statement on the incident at the time of filing this report. Troops of Sector 4 Operation Hadin Kai while sustaining aggressive counter-terrorism operations across the Northeast theater, have been apprehended. Another foreign terrorist fighter and an alleged illegal immigrant during a security operation in Lassa, Dili, general area of Askira, Uba local government, Borno State. In a statement on Monday, the acting military information officer headquarters, Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadin Kai, Captain Mohammed Goni, said the operation was carried out by troops of the 115th Task Force Battalion at about 11:48 a.m. on 19th July 2026 as part of ongoing intelligence-driven operations in the Northeast Theater. He explained that during the operations, troops arrested one Musa Fashir, 32 years old Sudanese national, suspected to be a foreign terrorist fighter and collaborator. According to him, preliminary intelligence indicates that the suspect has established links with terrorist elements, further highlighting attempts by foreign actors to support insurgent activities in the region. Both suspects are in military custody, undergoing preliminary profiling and interrogation to establish their identities, determine the extent of their activities, and ascertain any possible links to terrorist or transnational criminal networks. Stakeholders in the aviation sector have called for a review of the sharing formula of the 5% ticket sales charge, with the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency seeking a larger share of the revenue to upgrade air navigation infrastructure. The Nigeria Civil Aviation Act currently allocates the charge as follows: NCAA receives 56%, NAMA 22%, NIMET 9%, NCAT 7%, and NSIB 6%. A bill before the National Assembly proposes to reduce the NCAA's allocation to 40% and increase NAMA's share to 40%. Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative President Air Condorin Ademola Onitiju supported the amendment, stating that the NAMA's infrastructure and equipment are crucial for airspace management. However, former NAMA Managing Director Roland Iyai faulted the charge, describing it as unsustainable and calling for an aviation development fund. NCAA Director of Public Affairs Michael Akimugu warned that any reduction in the authority's statutory allocation could weaken aviation safety oversight and regulatory effectiveness. Nigeria's petrol imports surged by 207% in June 2026, reversing earlier gains recorded in domestic refining as local supply declined. According to data from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authorities, the data showed that petrol imports climbed to 18.1 million liters per day in June, accounting for 35.8% of total supply, up from 5.9 million liters per day in May. Domestic supply declined to 32.5 million liters per day from 41.5 million liters per day. Between February and May, local sources contributed more than 85% of petrol supply. However, January and June recorded the highest dependence on imports, with imported petrol accounting for 38.2% and 35.8% of total supply, respectively. The increase in imports coincided with reports of crude oil supply challenges affecting domestic refiners. NMDPRA data showed that average crude supply to local refineries fell to 393,746 barrels per day. In June, from 421,000 18 barrels per day in May. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has raised concerns over the recent increase in petrol import licenses, warning that the developments would worsen price instability, increase pressure on the naira, and push petrol prices higher. National Publicity Secretary Chinedu Ukadike stated that imported petrol was entering the market at prices above locally refined products. He said some companies granted import licenses were offering petrol at about 1,350 per litre, a price higher than Dangote's refinery supply rates. Ukadike argued that imported petrol has a landing cost estimated to be about 20% higher than locally refined products, adding that reliance on imports was putting additional pressure on Nigeria's foreign exchange reserves. He called on the government to engage stakeholders and resolve issues affecting domestic refining capacity to sustain production of petroleum products in Nigeria. And now in business news, oil prices eased on Monday after Iran indicated that diplomatic exchanges with the United States were continuing through mediators despite renewed conflict in the Middle East. Brent crude was trading at $89 per barrel after rising above $91 earlier in the day, its highest price since June 11. US benchmark West Texas Intermediate also extended gains. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Bagheri told a news conference that the diplomatic apparatus has been active and ideas have been conveyed by certain mediators. The comments followed a week of military exchanges between Washington and Tehran. Global markets were mixed, with Hong Kong and Shanghai closing higher while London was in the red and Seoul fell 4.46%. From the foreign scene, Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye has been elected chairman of ECOWAS Authority of the Heads of State and Governments. Faye emerged as the new leader during the 69th ordinary session of the ECOWAS Authority, held in Sierra Leone. He takes over from Sierra Leonean President Julius Maada Bio, who assumed the position in June 2025. The handover comes as the regional bloc continues to address challenges including insecurity, democratic governance, and relations with Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which recently withdrew from ECOWAS. Now over to the entertainment scene. Nollywood actress Annie Macaulay has dismissed rumors suggesting that she has reunited with her estranged husband, music star Innocent Idibia, also known as Tubaba. In a post on her Instagram stories on Monday, Annie stated that videos circulating are old and being misrepresented. She wrote, "Old videos circulating everywhere, false news everywhere." The speculation began after an old video of the former couple sharing an affectionate moment at a nightclub resurfaced on social media on Friday. Annie and Tubaba announced the end of their marriage in January 2025. The singer is now married to Edo State lawmaker Natasha Osawaru. Now in the world of sports, Spain has won the 2026 FIFA World Cup, defeating Argentina 1-0 in the final. Ferran Torres scored the game's only goal in the 106th minute of the extra time, rifling a shot past Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. It is Spain's second Men's World Cup title and its first since 2010. Spain went through the tournament conceding only one goal in 8 matches. The win likely ends a golden era for Lionel Messi and Argentina, with Messi now 39 years old. Spain also holds the 2024 European Championship title. And that wraps up Metro Updates. You can watch us on the go via TVM's app, accessible on Android Play Store. You can also watch and follow us on all our social media platforms. Like, share, and subscribe. I am Tejiri Ikewe. Thanks for watching and do have a great day ahead of you.